What is up, everybody? Yes, we are actually back. We are finally back. It is the next episode of another Disney podcast where once again you get to hear from Brandon because Rob likes it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Disney podcast. We're so happy we're back. Means. I don't know what that means either, but you said it right before we started, and so I repeated it because it sounded good.
It sounds so wrong, but it's true. So
it's because he likes it.
Rob, that's because Rob likes it.
Yeah.
What's up, fellas?
Nothing.
What's up, guys?
I'm low on energy, so I'm gonna feed off of you guys today.
I love it. I love Rob. I love how Rob tries to build up his energy every time. Like 2 weeks from now, we do this again. Rob's gonna be dancing.
Yeah. dancing, Rob.
Yeah. Which is great because I have perfect music for dancing. I'm never going to change these.
Oh god, that's like slow 8th grade dance where you got it.
We are three friends that love Disney.
Oh gosh, sorry.
We are three friends that love Disney.
That's true.
That still applies.
Let's do that. Let's roll that old intro. Let's see.
Welcome to another Disney podcast. We are three friends that love Disney, just different aspects of it. Whether it's parks, pictures, or intellectual properties.
Wow.
We discuss, debate, and keep you up to date on all things we love about Disney.
That was our intro, man.
That's still 90% true.
Yeah. Well, we're not friends.
That's the part I was talking about.
Perfect. Nailed it.
It's been a while.
I know. I miss it. Some days I don't, but this week I did. I was like, man, it's been 7 years since we've recorded.
Nice. Yeah, I missed you guys.
Yeah. I was watching a show yesterday with Krista, and there was a guy on there that reminded me exactly of RobFuz. I was like,
impossible.
I was like, this is Rob. He even has his fantastically delightful hair.
Yeah, I was gonna wear a hat.
Brandon and I have no clue what that's like.
No, look at. If you're watching, folks, patches. Like, look at this. This is awful. And then look at the bottom of the screen, wavy Goldilocks down there.
My hair is like an old pair of jeans. It's just got patches.
I'm lucky. I don't know.
I have never cared. I do not care. Like, everybody's all like, man, you're balding. I'm like, so I don't have to look at it. You guys do. Maybe that's why they're saying it. I don't know.
That's true.
Maybe.
All of my grandfathers and my dad all had a head full of hair. So you got me. I have no clue as to why.
I don't think anybody in my family is bald. So welcome to another Disney podcast where we talk about hairlines.
And Rob liking it.
And Rob really, really liking it.
No, Brandon does
That's
a
our
great
show, folks.
intro. And I think he deserves to do the intro. He's awesome. So
yeah,
pumps me up for the show. That's good. So
I don't think he's like awesome, but what Rob says, we do. That's just how this show works.
Rob likes it.
If Rob likes it, we do it. That's he's come in and kind of just made us do things. He's got us out of our comfort zone, and we just do what he says now. He's the boss.
News and brews.
Yeah.
We gotta change the name of the subject. News and brews with bros.
Wow.
Rob, you go first.
What do you got, Rob?
Well, it is the last day of school for my kids. It is officially summer. I'm wearing my light blue shirt and I'm drinking a Corona. It is Taco Tuesday, so I am drinking the Corona Light. Real exciting.
Light. You're looking out for your waistband. I like that.
Yeah.
Corona Light. How many limes you got in that thing?
I got 2. I could get 10 in there if I want, but I like limes. So.
That was always always my favorite. Guys who came into the bar, he's like, "I'll take a Corona and 14 limes." That used to be Dave. He used to drink a Blue Moon with 63 oranges in it.
Yeah, I have grown to like the taste of beer. The other stuff, my Truly, which is left over from some vacation. I don't know. Like they're just too sweet now.
Yeah, they're definitely too. I can drink 1 or 2 of those, but they're like,
I think it's
how you used to pound them. I cannot any longer.
Yeah, they're great because they're really flavorful and they have 100 calories, but now it's all like sugar water. Alcoholic
Exactly.
sugar water.
Sugar water.
That's me. And then for Brandon,
I mean, I'm drinking a LaCroix. I'm just getting over the sickness of last week. So
down with the sick.
I'm down with the sickness, the quickness with the sickness. So I'm just sticking with the LaCroix.
Okay.
The pamplemousse flavor, though.
I've got jokes about LaCroix.
That's a fancy word for grapefruit.
It's a really good joke.
Do it.
Someone who had never had one asked me, this is a true story, asked me to, like, what do they taste like? And I was like, I paused for a minute. And I thought of probably the best explanation that anyone has ever said. And it also was one of the funniest things I've probably ever said in my life. It's not going to be funny now because I announced it was really funny. But I said, it's like you're in a different room across the house with the door closed and you shout a fruit flavor.
That good, huh?
Like, is that close, right? Like, because
yeah. I mean, I love LaCroix. I personally agree.
Me too. I love it.
I don't think that it's flavored enough, but yeah, that's a great explanation. I love reading those things. If you go to like Reddit, there's like these whole threads on LaCroix and like,
maybe that's where I found it. I don't know. I probably stole it.
Yeah, probably. just say it's you, dude. Don't
It's me or me finding it on Reddit and repeating it.
Don't admit to theft, dude. You know you don't want to do that.
Well, it's better than getting caught. All right, news. We got through Bruce and fruit in a different room. So weird. Okay, I wanted to talk about this one because I just think of like all of the things going on at Disney and all of the like nighttime things that especially one of their beautiful 4 parks needs has now been like quietly whisked out the back door with zero explanation, and it just kind of stopped. And that is the Disney Movie Magic Projection. That's a mouthful. The Disney Movie Magic Projection Show at Disney World's Hollywood Studios has quietly been suspended. And all that means, so there is a nightly show, or mostly nightly show, and this was like it started it. I think, is that correct? Like it was before. Yeah, it takes place before the Wonderful World of Animation. And so there was a few like dates in May, and now since June has come and is rolling right along, as we've reached the middle of the month, it's not there anymore. And I'm all like, I mean, as lame as that park is for nighttime shows, like at least it was a double header. So it's weird that they got to wait. Like, you know what I mean? Because think about all the things that Disney does, right? Like you've got this whole hotel that's now closing because nobody's going, and it's heavily staff dependent. I mean, the same guy that pushes the button for the show 15 minutes later, he just has to come a little early, right? I mean, I'm at a loss as to the why, and there was zero explanation, and it just kind of quietly went away.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I mean, some of the speculation was that because it was 15 minutes or whatever before the other show, is that it wasn't dark enough to do the show, so they would have to push the other show back to make it dark enough to do both. So I was reading something, and I think they said if that was the case, they'd have to wait until July 29th for the darkness to be dark enough. Because Florida's weird. Like, you guys send me pictures in the wintertime, and it's like 5 o'clock, and it's like nighttime where you are. Yeah. And I send you guys pictures in Florida, and like the sun is still out. So it's very weird. We don't have mountains to contend with and all of that good stuff. But yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with darkness. The park doesn't stay open late enough generally to take advantage of 2 shows and the darkness. Yeah. So I think that had a lot to do with it.
That would make sense. It's a double-edged sword. It's not open late enough, and it starts too early.
Correct.
Both of which they have full control over.
I mean, they could just stay open 15 minutes more. I'm just saying. These are simple solutions, folks.
I mean, we haven't been in a while. When we went for spring break, we did not go there. But I'm guessing number-wise, that's still the number 2 most popular park, right? Because of all said new attractions and lands.
I would imagine it's pretty close to the second. I mean, Epcot might be the second just because the sheer size of it. But as far as attractions and new things to do, Hollywood Studios is definitely up there. So this kind of ties into that. This isn't a news story that we were looking at, but I saw that maybe they were going to try to highlight Hollywood Studios a little more in the holiday celebrations this year.
Yeah, that would be,
which would be kind of cool, because I think Hollywood is one of the best like holiday celebrations. Like if you're walking down Sunset Boulevard towards Hollywood Tower Hotel, like the decorations that they have, a lot of times it snows on that street. So I think it's super underrated as far as holidays are concerned. There's rumor that they may bring some sort of after hours holiday party to Hollywood Studios, which I think would be cool. If you could take advantage of things like Rise of the Resistance, your favorite ride, Slinky Dog Dash at like an after hours party kind of atmosphere, that may be worth it for Hollywood Studios to me.
I'm with you on the decorations. Like that is, if you've ever been to Christmastown at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, the Italy section is decorated with that like 1950s and 60s look, and like what is the Gertie? Is that the name of the dinosaur? Like over there by Gertie, there's this very like retro old. It has that same feel. I think it like Christmas decorations, like even and they're probably having to do this because of the Osborne spectacle, like they took that away, so probably to do so. But yeah, it's like it's the best decorated park at Christmas outside of Magic Kingdom, in my opinion.
I think so.
Because they've also got the every 15-minute light shows that or projection show that happens on Tower of Terror that's Christmas themed, and it's good.
It's fairly new too, right? That's
good. Yeah.
That came about with the Beacons of Magic when they brought that out. Then that they did the holiday overlay for both the tower and the castle at Magic Kingdom, and they're really good. Like the Hollywood Tower one is one of the best ones. I like it like second best behind Epcot's show on the Spaceship Earth.
I was thinking maybe they weren't showing it because of royalties and stuff, but I was scrubbing through the show and it's all Disney, so shouldn't be that. So who knows though? Like they're taking off stuff off Disney Plus, like that kind of thing. But
well, that's just they don't have to pay people. Like like Harmonious went away, which was like that Harmonious, the production of Harmonious that was on Disney Plus was one of the best things that Disney has ever done. And it's gone. So I mean, now you can only find, other people's taped 4 and 8K versions on YouTube. But yeah, they got rid of that because I imagine there were so many famous people in it and musicians and things like that every time it streamed, they had to pay them for that.
Yeah. I'd have paid though.
I'd have paid. Well, that's a good segue into the news story that Brandon found. Like, speaking of Harmonious, the last pieces. Let's take off our hats and Harmonious. The last and final pieces of Harmonious have been removed from the World Showcase Lagoon at Epcot, which is kind of sad because I think Harmonious is one of the best things that Disney did. We were there last week, and I always joked and said, my day at Epcot is not made or broken by the fact that there's stuff in the middle of the Showcase Lagoon. But it was actually nice to walk in between the two gift shops there and look across to like the American Pavilion and be able to see it.
Yeah. And the rest of the world heard about that.
Yeah.
I did not.
So, I mean, they didn't bother me that they were there, but it created a different view that hasn't been there in a while. So it was cool. We were there last week, I think. So yeah, goodbye, Harmonious.
Sorry, I'm reserving all of my negative comments, so I'm just being quiet.
Well, hey, look, we debate. The opening said that we debate, so you're allowed to debate.
Well, no, it's not a debate. Like, it's just like everybody is. Might as well bring me full screen because here he goes. Everybody is frustrated about the rise in costs, and when you watch Disney spend like, what was it, like $600 million or something like that to do this, and then like 18 months later you tear it all down because you go in a different direction. Like, we're paying for that. Like, sorry, like that's really crappy. That's not the word I want to use. Like, and so to me, I'm like, I look at all of these things just stack up, like, and nobody like calls Disney out on it. Like, that was a real, like, I mean, nobody can predict the future, but I just don't understand when you built that. Like, if there was ever an inkling of, hey, after 18 months, we may not do this, like, wouldn't we have gone back? Or was Chapek that stubborn about it? Because I know a lot of it was his idea. I don't know. And I just think it was a giant waste of money when it's really, like, to me, it rivals Happily Ever After. I'm going to say it. That is my opinion. But it rivals heavily after. That's cheers, everyone.
Too much truly, ladies and gentlemen. Too much truly.
Heavily after. That's
heavily after.
See, look, like, how can you be mad at me? Like, I can't talk. You just laugh at me.
That's
I'm
right.
Like, no matter how bitter old man he is. Like,
Rob, Rob, what do you think? Like, did you like that show?
What? I think we talked about this in the past. Like, I watched your version when you guys first went. I think you went to the previews and everything. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I think it doesn't translate well over YouTube, but you see it in person. That show is incredible. I agree with you. So, it just, I don't know. It really bothered people that those damn barges were in the lagoon. You know, I always say don't mess with people's memories and stuff like that. So, I don't know. It just seems like they could have evolved it into something else. You know, maybe, I don't know, make the barges move or something, get it out of the way like they used to do. Like, they could have did it in the past. Why didn't they first see that was an issue? So, I don't know. I just think they can. I don't know. You're right. It was a way waste of money. You know, it was during that 5-year, 1 year, 50th anniversary, and that's what it seemed like. And I don't know. I agree with Dave. It was a waste of money, and I wish they just kind of transformed it into something else. So
right.
Maybe 100.
I mean, think about where the building where Horizons is, and I know that they use it for like hit or miss events, and then the other side where I can't remember what the name of the other one in between, like France and Great Britain and wherever it is over there. But like, dude, you cut that money in half, $300,000 each, like. They could have made something pretty extraordinary from some of those buildings, and you have 2 new rides, 2 new things that guess what? Don't block everybody's view since they're so pissy about it.
Yeah, definitely. Very strange.
They should have created a brand new show called Harluminations Forever.
I like
Happily After, heavily after
nations. Yeah,
whatever.
I think
it's over now.
Bicycle. Oh, are we done? Peace.
We need that. We need that sound effect.
All right, Rob, what you got?
I don't have anything.
Perfect.
Excellent. Well, that ends our news and Bruce.
But wait, there's more.
I was really into the main topic. I was doing some research on that. I was really excited about the topic of today's show. So the main topic was really good. So
all right,
I really like it. So
he said
I did see an article. Did you guys see something about possibly bringing drones to Disney World or drones to Disney in general? I don't know.
They did it, but it was like 2 or 3 times. Didn't they do it at the Springs? It was really rad.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to see drones, come. I know they do it in Disneyland Paris. That show looks incredible. So I don't know. I don't know why there is a hang up to not bring them.
Yeah, I don't know.
To Disney World. I don't know. I love drones. I'm a drone flyer. And I love those digital drone shows, but I don't know. I don't know why. There's an article, Daytime Drones. Imagineering's chief creative officer talks about expanding immersive to the skies in Disney theme parks. So,
ooh, daytime. What would they do during the day?
like those things are just mainly like
kite-tails, but with drones.
Kite-tails. But they did something. Epcot had a daytime show. Like, I don't know. It was like it was all on like what were those things? They were like kites. It was kind of like kite-tails. Those flying kites. Like, I don't remember what they were called. But
okay, that makes sense. That's not where my direction, because you basically see them. They all light up and they do these like shapes and formations. And I was all like, nothing like sitting down and staring up at the Florida sun in the summertime. What's wrong with your retinas? They're gone.
I burnt my retinas looking at Disney's drone celebration.
Yeah, but they're cool. I love them. I just got, I don't know. I do lots of video production on the side. And a couple of weeks ago, I did a random, like, this guy was having a pickleball tournament and wanted me to like shoot some aerial stuff from for them for their tournament. Like, sure, man. Printing money. Didn't even have to edit it. Just had to send them clips.
Nice.
Nice.
The best.
The best.
They had a drone thing at if you remember, they did have a drone little quick like for the day. I don't know why, but the X-Wing over at Galaxy's Edge. You remember that? They had that.
Oh yeah.
drone?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Like, it was like a one-day thing. I don't know what they're doing. So hopefully, I think I was reading that Universal is going to be bringing a drone show to their park. I know, like I said, Disneyland Paris has something. They can do something there. So I think they're really cool. They do them at the Olympics and stuff like that.
Oh
so.
yeah.
It doesn't. I'm looking over the article. It doesn't. I think that excites them. I guess it's another like dream
Blue sky
vision that
idea.
Disney World has.
That's right.
And not to be off topic, did you guys see the pictures of that new roller coaster, that dueling roller coaster at Epic
Yes.
Universe?
Looks
That
really
thing
cool.
looks amazing.
Yeah. It's huge
Good.
too. So
I'm all about it. I want Universal to push Disney till they're uncomfortable.
they are already.
Didn't-
so.
I'm so
I
for
guarantee it's not going to take them 5 years to build that roller coaster.
Another hub I saw too, a little off topic. It's just this Epcot construction. It's just taking forever. Like, like people are just saying, like, why? Why is it taking so long? You know, Universal's going to build the theme park in less than 4 years, and how many years has this reconstruction at Epcot been? At least 4 years already. So
that. Of which they've canceled 80% of what they've announced.
I know it's not even like
I mean, it takes a long time for the journey of water, apparently. Like,
I don't know.
Wow.
And like it's the funny thing. We're gonna get it, and it's gonna be you're so underwhelmed by a walk.
Yeah, I'm a little
heavy
concerned
water
about
trip.
that.
yeah, I did see somebody put on Facebook today, like from the monorail, like the inside of that journey of water area, and it actually looks really cool. I don't think
I bet it looks
I
amazing.
don't think
yeah.
it can ever live up to what people think it's going to be,
Yeah.
just because of how long it's taken. But it looked super cool.
Yeah. So that was another gripe I saw about Epcot.
What are they
and
what are they putting where the fountain was?
They're gonna put that Walt statue. I think it's just gonna be like a solemn area, and you walk up, and Walt's he's kind of sitting there. Like, you ever see that statue that they're putting in there?
Yeah. That's it.
That's
so
it.
all of this time is just maybe it's been really hard to close up the hole and
Yeah.
keep the water from
I think
running.
it's Journey of Water. There's gonna be like a not convention, like a festival pavilion. That's what they
Yeah.
were supposed to put in
Yeah,
there.
they're
And then
definitely still
They're still doing that?
statue.
they're building some sort of. If you go past Spaceship Earth and look to the right, there's definitely a building there that they're
Yeah.
building right now.
Like
So,
the play pavilion that was canceled?
it's some sort of pavilion. I don't know if it's the play
Interesting.
pavilion, but it's definitely there.
Was the play pavilion canceled or on
Yeah.
hold? I
Mhm.
never heard it was canceled.
Oh, well,
I can't believe that building still sits there. It's embarrassing. I don't know.
I'm going to Google it.
Me too.
Let's go to the Google.
Everybody go to the Google.
This makes for riveting podcast.
What are you Googling? The play pavilion?
Yeah.
I guess I'm
It just says paused.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, this is what I remember from January 15th. This is the middle of a sentence, and I'm not going to the actual page, but this was quickly followed up by rumors that the project had now been severely slimmed down or canceled completely.
That sucks.
And then somebody else says now considered canceled. Confirmation. Oh, update January. The only thing we are now missing is the official confirmation. Everything is now pointing toward the formerly planned play pavilion at Epcot having been canceled. Our last update was back in October when, at the start of Epcot's 40th, the play pavilion appeared on the commemorative map and we saw workers on the roof. That was quickly followed over. Now, at the beginning of the Epcot International Festival of the Arts, it is clear that the play pavilion has been deleted from the map altogether. That's where that speculation came from, because it was on the map and then it went away. But that could have just been from Steve, who does the graphics, forgot to put it on the map.
It was funny. They put Tiana's. I don't know if it was a goof, but they put Tiana's. You know, instead of Splash Mountain, they put her on the map, and then they had the wood statue they have of the Brer Rabbit and Fox,
Yeah.
and that was still on the map too. So, oops. I thought that was.
I hope they keep that, or is it already gone?
I think it's gone. So.
Oh, bummer.
Why would they
The Brer
keep
Rabbit would have been a good throwback.
Why would they keep it?
Well, just because it was the shape of the mountain. You know what I mean? It wasn't like super obvious.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anywho, yeah.
Anywho.
But to be honest, though, with the play pavilion, they could be working on it. It's indoors. You never know, So who knows? I doubt it, but it'd be great if they did. So
be a nice surprise.
Yes.
It never intrigued me. Like, I guess because it was full of all of the emojis, and I'm all like, it's like an emoji con building festival. That's all I remember from the thing. When we could have had 17 Cherries Tree Lane, but I'm not even going to go there.
Cherry Tree Lane teacups.
Yeah. Vomit. On both levels. Okay, our topic I picked because it's pretty wild. We're a couple weeks late on this, but I don't know, where all of us are fairly into technology. I worked at a technology company for 5 years. I don't know why I made it like sound like, what company?
Ooh, Silicon Valley Dave.
Yes. No, I worked for Apple Inc. for 5 years of my old man life. It was great, incredible experience. Got to sit down like one-on-one or in groups of people and teach them how to either use our products, our software, but mostly focused on teaching people how to edit video, which is my background. It's what I do for a living. And so pretty cool. So it was always interesting having a great love for Disney and then a great love for Apple. That there was, for years and years and years and years and years, there's been this speculation of, will Apple buy Disney? So that is ramped back up in the past couple of weeks and really even before that. But it's kind of based around what just happened. So Apple had their worldwide developer conference. And basically what that is every June, the apps that we all love to play, use, work with, etc. All of those people that create it are invited to Cupertino, or it can be done like over the web, and they have access to thousands of Apple engineers, and they get to see all of the new software that's coming out for the next one. So like whatever the next iPhone update is, whatever the next Mac update is, iPad, and so on. And so that's what is this. So when that happens, it's always a big announcement for us consumers, because we get a peek at like, ooh, here's some cool new changes coming to our phones, or here's some cool new changes coming to our computers. So we always watch. I always watch it, and we were nerds, and when I worked there, we used to have like watch parties with other Apple employees. Yes, we were that dorky, but it kind of rekindled that conversation. So I think we should back up and start like, well, why Apple and Disney? They've been tied together for a long time. I know you guys know this, but I'll give like a really pathetic and embarrassingly brief history. And so when Steve Jobs got let go by the former CEO of Pepsi that took over for his beloved Apple, he started a computer company called Next with 2 X's that was really innovative, but just didn't really go anywhere. And then so he stepped away from that, but him and Ed Catmull and John Lasseter and a couple of other guys started Pixar. So Steve Jobs, who started Apple, when he left Apple, started Pixar. So there's a huge connection right there, because we all know that several years later, they were obviously way, way ahead of their time, and Disney bought Pixar. And the rest is history. But even before that, there was a relationship, because I don't know how long has Iger been the CEO? It's been a long time, hasn't it? I mean, has it been since, I can't think of his name. I love him.
I think so.
Anyway, but Iger was on the board of directors at Apple, and Steve Jobs was on the board of directors at Disney. So there's always been this like really tight knit
overlap.
Yeah, from the leaders of the company. So that's kind of like a brief history. They've been together for a long time. So this talk is not new. This keeps coming up. But like a couple weeks ago, it was like Apple poised to buy Disney for like $109 or $107 billion. Should we just get this out of the way? I don't think it's going to happen, but it's worth talking about.
2000. So
yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen either, but there are plenty of reasons why it could happen, and it could work if they decided to do it.
Agreed. So why this speculation has come about again is if you watch their I don't work there anymore. They're hideously priced AI AR VR
God.
goggles. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, what it is phenomenal. If you're single and you live by yourself in the city. But I also would say
figures, yeah.
this goes back for me every time they announce something. I look at my wife and I'm like, if they would have priced this differently, like they wouldn't be able to keep them in stock. This thing, $1,000 to $1,500, they would not be able to make them quick enough. But no, $3,500 for some VR goggles.
It starts at $3,500.
Yeah. So what does that even mean?
Yeah, that's if you want the goggles. You don't even get the strap to go around your head. That's another $300.
It's like the Mac Pro. Like, what was it? Like the wheels were like $4,500 or something like that. Anyway, we all know that Apple is ridiculous in their pricing. And this is definitely a Gen 1 product, but what I saw out of it is mind blowing. The technology in it is even more mind blowing. And to be honest with you, all the other stuff that's out there with Meta and whoever else, Oculus, it's not even a comparison. It's what Apple has created is absolutely incredible. It's clearly not for the masses, but I'm sure they know that. And maybe in, version 3, 4, 5, it'll be like the price of an iPhone. Who knows? Because technology just gets cheaper, it gets adopted more, so on and so forth. In lieu of talking forever about this so we can make this a discussion, if you haven't seen it, I suggest you either, I'm sure somebody has cut the snippet out of the keynote, but Bob Iger comes on stage and talks about Disney being kind of like a front running partner from the launch of this event, of this product when it comes out early next year, of a heavy Disney Plus integration with some incredible special features. So that got everybody's head spinning again of like, what does this mean? Why are they partnering together? I think people are reading into it too much, but I will say it's an interesting conversation because I see some, what's the best word? I can see why people would think that. So I'll leave it there, and then we can open up for discussion, and then we can start giving our thoughts, comments, and snide remarks. What do you guys think?
It's difficult. Content is king. Bottom line, content is king. So if this is the future, I held up, while you were talking, I held up Ready Player One. Literally, that's the movie. That's the future. I think this is 20, 30 years into the future. People are addicted to these headsets. I don't know if you ever saw the movie. I love the movie. It's one of my favorite movies. Spielberg did it. Come on, the goggles look identical to these goggles from Ready Player One, which is bizarre, And if you ever did you guys see the movie?
Oh yeah, gosh, I love that film.
Yeah, it just takes over the world. It's like it's an
incredible book.
It's the book's great. There's a second book to it too. It just takes over the world, and this is a step towards Apple. It's been a while, since Apple really had any groundbreaking technology. The iPhone, everyone has it. Like the stats of how many people use Apple devices is astronomical. And for how long people use it for, up to 4 hours a day. That's the average of people using these Apple devices. So kind of makes sense. Apple kind of was, am I going too far, or can I talk, guys?
No, go. I mean, the only thing that I was going to say to give you a perspective of how saturated the market. I mean, it's obvious with everybody's phones, even if it's like Android or whatever. But 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, COVID messes up your brain. So that whole time now, I don't COVID was 30 years ago. I can't ever remember anymore. But regardless, because Apple has so many phones, for the first time in Apple's history, they made more money from services than they did from products. And that has continued. And so people are like, well, what do you mean by services? Broken screens, broken backs of their phones, water damage, you name it. That now makes them the most of their money because there's billions and billions of iPhones all over the place. So now they don't make the bulk of their money from the new products that they release. It's from repairs. Yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
That is, I never even knew that. So crazy. But they were staying in the lane. They were doing computers, then phones was big, and then they started doing online services, and then they have Apple Plus TV, and then they start doing content. They keep going out of their border. And the reports I see, Is it ruining if I just say if they buy Disney, they're the best content providers ever? Star Wars,
Yeah.
Marvel, Disney. Like
It's
if
true.
they buy it, it forces them to make content for this goggles that people will be obsessed with in 10 years, whatever. So who knows how every year iPhone's not that old. Was it like less than 50 years old? Yeah. So look where it's at now. So who knows? This is the first, like you said, Dave, it's astronomical, the price, but it's the first step towards a new generation.
Yeah.
Like I don't think VR headsets really took off, in my opinion. Do you think they've took off at all?
Yeah.
But
I feel like we've heard about this thing for like almost 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And now that it's come out, I immediately was like, people still want these?
Yeah. Well, the Apple glasses was a big thing for a while.
Yeah. Well, this is obviously like what this transitioned to. Clearly.
Yeah, so another thing too, you think about it too. Apple Watch. I have an Apple Watch. When I got my phone, I never wore a watch. This is like my 4th Apple Watch. I wear a watch every day, and it's tied to Apple. You know what I mean? So who knows? Maybe I know I don't have VR glasses. I don't ever use it. Maybe every day I will use it. Who knows? I can't imagine. I don't know. Like you said, a single guy who makes a lot of money. Maybe it's interesting for them or something. Because I'm a family guy. I have 2 kids and a wife, and who knows? I don't think I'd. But I don't know.
They lost me when the dude was like down on his knees and like took a picture with his kids. I'm like, no. Could you imagine being at the birthday party, that dad with those things on? Like, what's up with Dave? He just
that guy's weird. That guy's weird. Yeah, I think on a lot of fronts it would make sense to merge them, just because like Rob was talking about, you have 2 very different entities that are very good at what they do. Right. Yeah. Disney is great at, like Rob said, putting out the content and developing things that people want to see. And Apple has the means to distribute it to billions and billions of people. So I think as separate entities, not knowing the intricacies of both, it makes sense to say, hey, if we combine these, we could be, superhero, right? We could be a superpower in the world. But I think then it really comes down to like, monetarily, I don't think Apple, even though they make billions of dollars, like I don't think it makes monetary sense for them to try to acquire Disney just because of the price tag.
No, rewind. They make trillions of dollars.
Yeah, they make. I mean,
Disney makes billions of dollars.
They make trillions.
That's a scary thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just to me, it doesn't make financial sense to do it. But hey, we never thought the PGA Tour and Live would come together, right? So,
that is true.
Never say never. So
that is true.
That's an interesting perspective. I never thought about it like that.
I think that they're 2 great entities that are very good at what they do, but sometimes when you try to combine that magic, the magic goes.
Yeah, there's a stat about like the value of Disney was like, I don't know, I'm gonna talk out of line, probably 180 billion or something like that, which seems like a lot, and it would put Apple at like where they would have to, with their stockholders and everything. I'm just trying to see what the stats are.
I don't know what it is. But the number that's floated up in the past couple of years was like 108 billion or 107, 108.
Okay, that's
somewhere in there. But I mean, that who came up with that? Like, I could have wrote that number. Like, I don't. Meaning, I didn't read the article to figure out where the.
Yeah, here it is. Disney price for one is valued at 180 billion. I was right about that. That might seem small for a company that's valuation of 2.8 trillion. It's hardly peanuts.
Yeah,
it would need to take on some debt and suspend its share buybacks to make this acquisition. So,
I mean, you look at it like Disney bought Pixar for like $100 billion. Like,
crazy. I think it was
this will mess with your head. This is another one of those things that I saw that I have yet to recover from. Do we have any sports fans in the house?
I'm semi-sports fan.
Okay, there we go. We got Brandon, who is, and Rob is semi. When Apple crossed over the trillion number, there was an article, I don't know what it was, Forbes, Wall Street Journal, I don't know. But basically it was like they was trying to put that into perspective for like average dudes like us to be able to comprehend. And what they did was Apple has enough cash on hand. That is the CIH that is the key to the rest of the statement. Not their worth, but they have enough cash on hand to purchase every professional sports organization in the world.
Jeez. That is crazy.
I'll repeat it. I'll say it slow for the people in the back. They had, it's fluctuated, but like they had enough cash on hand to every major sport. So you're talking like MLB, NBA,
the Premier League,
NBA, the Premier League, F1. I mean, you're talking everything to buy like and own every like major sports organ, like whatever in the world, not like in the States, not like in like the States and Europe. Yeah. That was at the point where I was like, I can't comprehend that. That's not a real number. So anyway, yeah. Crazy. So here's my perspective without reading this article that we linked to. If this is in Iger's back pocket or like if they're meeting behind closed doors, him and Tim, here's the reason why, right? Iger's been trying to leave Disney for 107 years. Let's be honest. Okay. He can't get out of there because they don't have anybody to replace them.
I try to get out, they pull me back in. Sorry.
If Apple purchases Disney, Apple is full of state-of-the-art, incredible leaders. Regardless if you like Apple or what they do, like they pump out talent. It's just what they do. They have the best designers in the world. They have the best engineers in the world. They have the best leaders in tech marketplace in the world.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, in 2023, like Disney is a tech company. They are. And selling that to Apple and Apple having the resources, the cash to be able to chase after. We just heard they have money to chase after people who would not want to do that. And would say yes because Apple would throw stupid money at somebody taking this position. Yeah. And so that's my only like question mark. Like Iger's trying to leave. He can't find anybody. He's trying. There is no one to replace him. Yeah. So sell the company and let somebody else figure it out.
Yeah, that would be a swan song to get out. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah.
And also, go ahead, Brandon.
No, I was just going to say, you mentioned the tech aspect. I mean, think about how bad Disney's tech is right now. Like we talk about Genie Plus and we talk about My Disney Experience being awful. Like just imagine what you could do to those systems with enough money to buy every sports team in the world. Like it would be you could put on your virtual reality goggles and go through a walk through Disney World and hit the button on every ride you want to put on your Disney Genie Plus, and that's how you select them. Like,
yeah,
the world would be your oyster. Like, I would be excited simply because of being a parks person, like the tech that could come to the parks. Like you were talking about drones. Like, imagine Apple financed drones at Disney World. Like, amazing.
Mm.
Yeah, and the one thing that has always impressed me about Apple is what they come. I mean, when I watched, like, here's the thing: they are the best company in the past 25 years of creating something you had no idea you needed.
Correct.
That is true.
That's what they do. That's like, and like we laugh at these goggles now, but dude, what if in 4 years every single one of us have a pair?
Yeah.
Right.
Dave
I mean, because I'm laughing. I'm
Dave
all like,
will definitely have a pair.
35. Like, bro, you gotta hit $14.99.99 for Dave to jump in. It cannot be any more than the most expensive iPhone.
Mark this time down, everyone. This is
$3,500.
This is June 13th on 2023. Dave says you got to mark them down because Rob and I will get a text from Dave that's like, "Yep," with his pre-order. He'll have his pre-order receipt.
I sold some of my glasses, and I got those glasses. Yeah,
I have so many pair of glasses, but they're all like $7. They're from China.
I'll be honest, like it looked cool, but I wasn't really bowled away by it. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta.
No, well, the technology and what it can do is mind blowing. I mean, the fact that you can sit in a room, like, here's the thing, like, I mean, it's been a while because of COVID, but like, I work for a company who travels internationally 3 to 4 times a year. Right? Those are like ridiculously long flights. To be able to have this and have a 300-foot screen like on a plane and in my face, like to watch a film. I mean, that's unreal. Like that is, but like, yeah, I'm also at home, a dad of 2 kids and have a wife, and can't imagine sitting at home and being like, oh my God, what's wrong with our husband?
Guys, what's going on? Hey kids, you want to go out and play?
Yeah.
By the way, the one thing that I was impressed with, I'm going to pull my phone up here too, was they did show the Main Street Electrical Parade like in virtual reality, which was so cool.
Yeah.
Like if you could draw train tracks for the electrical parade with your finger, like that's legit. But yeah, I mean, the fact that they had all of those Disney aspects in this presentation, like it led me to believe there has to be some sort of behind the scenes working like partnership with them. Now, how much does Disney want to be controlled by like Apple saying, hey, all right, now you have to produce? Like it's different when you're like, hey, we can produce you this cool stuff, right? How's it going to be like if Apple's like, look, we need X amount of product from you in X amount of time? Does that ruin the magic of Disney because we're just trying to pump stuff out for Apple?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we're those Disney fans that they would chase after, but at $3,500, I'm not I'm not ready. But again, Gen 1 product, right? Yeah. I mean, in 2028, it's a whole different world. It's a whole different world.
How many years in did you have an iPhone? It was like 3 for me, or 3 or 4.
I still have the original one. It's
you had the original one?
I had a BlackBerry, and I did not buy it day one, but I bought it before. Like, here's how old school it is. A lot of people don't know this. Apple, like, and when it was the first ever phone that you like, remember, because back then, gosh, we're going to date ourselves, guys. When back then, when you went to the store to like get a phone, that it was like, buy a phone for a penny. You remember that? Do you remember that's what it was? So like that was kind of like the world we lived in. And when the iPhone came out, it was $500, $600. Like what? And I was like, oh my gosh, it sold like hotcakes. They had 2 versions. They had an 8 gig and a 4 gig. I had the 4 gig because that's what I could afford. So I'm hoping mine is rarer than most and it's worth $3 million. I don't have to work anymore. That's
there you go.
True. It's probably not.
I
do still have it. It still powers on.
I think mine was a 4. I think it was the first one.
Yeah, I think that was mine first, like the 4. Like I said,
because I cycled through the BlackBerry. You know, you type like this. And then I had a couple of Nokia flip phones, and I was like, I'm not giving those up. They're flip phones, dude.
The keyboard flipped open. Yep.
Yeah.
And you just do the keyboard. I had a couple of those. I love this.
But yeah, once I went iPhone, I never went back.
Yeah. I've had 10 of them. So who knows? You know, that could be the same thing with these strange goggles. But
that's right. 10 years from now, we're doing another Disney podcast with these big old goggles on, and everybody's watching us live on virtual reality. Like,
yeah. I mean, I get it. There's a target market for these, but the price is just wrong. Like, I mean, like if you live in a big city, right? I mean, it's like you can't have, I mean, I'm sitting in our dedicated home theater room that we built with Dolby Atmos sound, like 7.1 or whatever that we got. Like, I mean, I have an 85-inch screen sitting in front of, like, I'm into this, but like, I have that. If you live in a 250 square foot, 37th floor Manhattan apartment, you can have that too with that thing. Like, I mean, you know, like if
that's how they translated it too. Like it equals 100-inch, you know, TV. Yeah. It equals a surround sound. It equals a computer, and the value is, you know, you're getting all these things for this price. Like okay, like you said, we have it already.
Yeah,
and I think we've learned, like, no matter what the price is, people will find a way to do it, whether it's Apple or whether it's Disney. Like, I don't know how many times on this show we've been like, hey, this after hours party's coming out, it's $379, they'll never sell this, and then, you know, 3 hours later it's sold out. Or like that $130,000 trip around the world that Disney put out that sold out, and they're already doing it again next year. So I just think people will find a way, because it's the thing. Like, it's the new thing.
Yeah, it is. The funniest thing is in this article that we kind of pulled from, where we pulled the idea from. I didn't really pull any like content from it. There is a tweet from a guy that, if you remember WALL-E, and they're all on the cruise ship and they float around on those chairs with those floating screens right in front of them. Yeah. They were like, this is what Apple and Disney are building.
Sure, funny.
Which I think is like, that's right. Like we are now there. Unfortunately, they're really ugly, and then they make digital eyes of you. I mean, it looks cool on, but it's also like, it's also one of those things like, no way am I wearing that around anybody I know ever in the history of ever. But it's probably because it's weird right now. If in 5 years it's common.
I'm making a prediction now. They're going to have, remember how, I think we talked about this on this show about the, what are those, the scooter things called?
The Segways.
Segways. They had the Segway things. You tried them out. They're going to have the same thing. Like, try out the Segway, try out the, these headsets. So I bet try out the Apple Vision Pro. So have a whole room and little
take a virtual tour around Epcot.
Exactly. So,
but what was incredible is watching Iger come out and talk about like their partnership with this, and then showing just the brief snippets of what they showed during the keynote of what they're going to be doing. And some, like they showed some Mandalorian, like, and it's only going to be like, obviously it's going to be content that you can only see like through this thing. Like, I mean, of course you can't be able to get it anywhere else, but then like Rob just showed, like the cool thing, like the crazy animation of the parade, like it's just why, like
electrically
stuff that we haven't even thought about is going to be on this thing, and then this is like, that's going to push people over the edge. Not me, because I value my marriage.
Get your $3,500 subscription to Disney Plus.
Yeah, they were showing the Disney Plus interface. It looked really cool.
Yeah,
but remember I was talking about when we talked about the Galactic Star Cruiser, like the technology, how they film like the Mandalorian, and the way they have the round things and everything. Imagine them filming it in that technology and then having those goggles would be so cool.
That's what it felt like. Because for those of you who aren't that into it and didn't see this, like you could be sitting there watching like a show or whatever, and then you would see the room around you. So if somebody come in, you would know, right? But you could also just make everything go away and be like staring out over a lake. It's just like fully immersive, and like, and it was gorgeous. Like it was just like, holy cow, you could make it all go away. So there, I mean, there are definitely times when in dad life where you're like, yes, I just want to, like, I'll date myself again. Calgon, take me away.
That's awesome. It was kind of funny too. What was I going to say? If you could FaceTime someone, real quick on the technology, because I thought this was interesting too. You said they give you fake eyes. If you FaceTime someone, obviously they can't see your face with the goggles. They make you like a virtual character talking. Yeah. It was so bizarre. That was another very bizarre part of it. So
I there are a few tech reviewers that I follow on YouTube, and a lot of them were like it was way better than a cartoon character like Meta does. They were like, but it's a long ways off. They were like, it's still very weird.
It's like 1990 CGI.
Yeah. So, but again, Gen 1, and like that's what I have to keep telling myself this, or I would joke this piece of technology into the ground, because first time I saw it, I was like, this is their one more thing. This is what because I was like, I don't know, like I remember we bought them when they came out, like and you slide your phone into them and you go to YouTube and you can look all around. Like it was so cool for like 5 minutes.
Well, that was my thought about this too. Like I'd use it for like a day and I'd be like, okay, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That was my.
This is the way our world is going. I mean, you mentioned it. Ready Player One is where we're headed. Like that's just. We're now there, where the technology is now there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think we should start a segment called Rob's Thought About This. And then he could just say a random thought like he just did. And he's like, in 10 years, the technology, that's what we'll do. And that's my thought about this.
We need like the Jimmy Fallon music when they do the Rob's Thoughts About This. Oh, look at him. He's writing it down.
Dang, he even writes down
watching the video. You would get that joke. That's what Rob likes, guys.
And that's what Rob
that's going to be the name of the show.
That's right. Hashtag Rob likes segment.
It's going to be like 14 seconds. And that's what Rob likes.
Thanks.
Hey guys, I love LaCroix. And that's what Rob likes.
It's almost like what was
The
the guy
smelly
on
YouTube
60
short.
Minutes that was always at the end?
What was
I can't remember his name, but yeah.
Andy Rooney?
Yes, thank
Do
you.
you ever wonder
Fit yourself,
why?
Gosh,
You ever
my
wonder
dad watched that show religiously. That's the only reason I know anything about it. Whew.
Woo.
All right. Anything else on our random topic that I picked out of the blue?
Okay, so predictions. Would it ever happen? Would Apple ever buy Disney?
I mean, I think it's more realistic today than it was 10 years ago.
I agree.
Yeah, Disney today. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, just to capitalize in the content market, right? Because Disney's losing a lot of money content wise, streaming stuff. And Apple puts out, I mean, they put out quality streaming television. I mean, Ted Lasso just ended, and that's one of the best shows I've ever watched on TV. And Apple spends next to nothing compared to Netflix and Hulu. They spend next to nothing on their content. So if there was any reason that they would merge or a partial merger, I could see Apple and Disney merging streaming content, direct to consumer kind of stuff.
Yeah. Be interesting.
Wow, you guys both.
Would you guys like Apple buying Disney? I don't know.
I don't know. I also don't know what the FCC would say about that. Like that's another two big juggernauts coming. Like it seems like that's always a big hurdle for companies nowadays. Like actually, yeah, the last sentence of that article that we pulled this from. There's also the question of how regulators would see the move amid increased scrutiny of mega deals.
Yeah. But I get maybe a monopoly on airlines or a monopoly on something. But this is like
entertainment.
Two different kind of spectrums.
I mean, it's a technology company purchasing an entertainment company. It's a different. They're very close aligned, but they're two different things.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I think it would be. I don't know. I think it would be cool. I don't know.
I think it would open up. It would open up unlimited possibilities for Disney. Like if we're really hoping that Disney can keep up with Universal and Epic Universe and things like that, that's the kind of bold move that it would take. Like it can't take 5 years to build roller coasters and lands, and it just can't do that anymore. And I think if Apple acquired it, that opens up monetarily and opens up talent wise to make that happen.
Yeah,
be interesting.
Good stuff.
And that's how Rob sees it.
That's what I see it. We said at the same time, Chinks. Bicycle.
So I don't know what's going to happen.
I missed you guys. I'm glad we did a good show today. It was fun.
This is a good one.
Really good show.
Random topic of the week. Will Apple buy Disney?
Sometimes the random one is best.
Yeah. And I liked our witty banter in between.
We did have great witty banter.
That's right.
Although does it become witty if we pat ourselves on the back when we're done doing it? Hey, Rob, great witty banter there.
Well, I had fun. I have zero clue if our listeners will enjoy this, but I had a blast.
I had a great time. And I don't think I froze once.
No.
One tiny little thing that was it. I noticed, but it was
Spectrum for the win.
We didn't finish Brandon's sentences this week. That was awesome.
That's right.
So would our listeners like this show? Hell, they love the Disney's $1 billion mistake.
Yeah,
that was a really good show for us. So thank you guys for listening to that one. So I think this is an interesting topic. It's definitely of interest to our listeners. I think so. We'll see. We'll see how you guys do.
We'll see.
Yes, it was awesome.
All right.
All right, team.
Guys, thank you so
Way
much.
to go, team.
Until next time, whenever that is, hopefully in 2 weeks. Bicycle.
Peace.